Grade 6, Subject Science, Chapter 8, Body Movements, Module 1. Objectives. At the end of the session, you will be able to acquire knowledge about human body and its movements, types of joints, ball and socket joints, pivotal joint, hinge joints, and fixed joints. Let us move. Dear children, in this chapter we are going to study about different types of body movements. When you are writing in your notebook, which part of the body are you moving? Or when you turn and look at your friend? Different parts of our body move while we remain at the same place or when we move from one place to another. For example, when you are still, your eyes may be blinking, you may be breathing, and so on. When you move from one place to another, you may be walking, running, skipping, jumping, etc. Now, let us check an animal chart which shows the movements. Here you can see that cows use their legs to walk. Snake use its whole body to slither. The movement of snake is called slither. We call it by the word slither. Okay. Birds use their wings to fly. Insects, they use their legs or whole body or sometimes their wings to fly, crawl or slither. Fish, they use its whole body or fins to swim, and human beings use their legs to walk. So, walk, run, fly, jump, creep, crawl, slither, and swim. These are all only a few of the ways in which animals move from one place to another. Why are there so many differences in the way that animals move from place to place? Or why is it that many animals walk while a snake slithers or crawls and a fish swims? Let us find out. First, we are going to study about human body and its movements. Some parts of our body can move more than other parts. How much movement is possible for each part? Yes, it is determined by our bones and how they are joined to each other. Suppose you try to bowl an imaginary ball at an imaginary wicket. How did you move your arm? Did you rotate it at the shoulder in a circular movement? Did your shoulder also move? Lie down and rotate your leg at the hip. Bend your arm at the elbow and the leg at the knee. Stretch your arm sideways. Bend your arm to touch your shoulder with your fingers. Which part of your arm did you bend? Straighten your arm and try to bend it downwards. Are you able to do it? Yes, you may not be able to do. So, let us relate or record all these things in a chart. Human body and its movements. Here you can see some of the parts can rotate partially, some of it can rotate completely, some of the parts can bend, lift, and some does not move at all. Okay, so why is it that we are able to move a few parts of our body easily in various directions and some only in one direction? Why are we unable to move some parts at all? Let us find out answers to all these questions in our mind. Let us go to an activity. Place a scale lengthwise on your arm so that your elbow is in the center. Ask your friend to tie the scale and your arm together. Now try to bend your elbow. Can you bend your arm now? No, it is impossible, right? So we are able to bend or rotate our body in places where two parts of our body seem to be joined together, like elbow, shoulder, or neck. These places are called joints. So, the places where two parts of our body join together and we are able to bend or rotate, we call that places joints. What exactly is joined together at these joints? Let us check. If our body has no joints, do you think it would be possible for us to move in any way at all? Press your fingers against the top of your head, face, neck, nose, ear, back of the shoulder, hands and legs, including the fingers and toes. Do you get a feeling of something hard pressing against your fingers? The hard structures are the bones. Bones cannot be bent. It is not one long bone from the upper arm to our wrist. It is different bones joined together at the elbow. Okay. So, how do you bend your elbow? Yes, there is a joint in between these bones. And there are different types of joints in our body to help us carry out different movements and activities. Let us learn about some of them. Types of joints. In this chapter, we are going to study about 4 different types of joints in our body. Ball and socket joints, pivotal joints, hinge joints, and fixed joints. Let us study in detail. Ball and socket joints. It is the type of a joint in which ball-shaped surface of a bone fitted into the cavity of another bone, which is called socket. Such a joint allows movements in all directions. For example, shoulder joint, hip joint, etc. Pivotal joints. The joint where our neck joins the head is a pivotal joint. It allows us to bend our head forward and backward and turn the head to our right hand or left. In a pivotal joint, a cylindrical bone rotates in a ring. For example, head and wrists. Hinge joints. Have you noticed a hinge on a door? It is that part of the door on which the door turns and swings. Just like doors, we have hinges that helps them to move back and forth. Our bodies have certain joints such as ankles, elbows and knee joints that allow us to move back and forth. These are called hinge joints. In a hinge joint, the end of the bones meet and allow movement only in one direction. That is most important. For example, knees, elbows, ankle, joints, etc. Last, fixed joints. There are some bones in our head that are joined together at some joints. The bones cannot move at these joints. Such joints are called fixed joints. When you open your mouth wide, you can move your lower jaw away from your head, isn't it? Try to move your upper jaw now. Are you able to move it? Yes, you are not able to do it, right? There is a joint between the upper jaw and the rest of the head, which is a fixed joint. So, the only bone in the skull that is movable is our lower jaw. It is most important. Once more I repeat, only movable bone in our skull is lower jaw. All other joints in our skull are fixed joints. We cannot move it at all. Okay, so That's all about joints. Here we studied about four types of joints, which are the ball and socket joint, example shoulder and hip bone. It can rotate in all directions, that is its importance. Second, pivotal joint. Pivotal joint, one example is our neck connected to our head. Okay, here you can move back, forward and backward, and also to our right and left, but we cannot rotate it completely. And the next one is, which is the next one? Yes, hinge joint. In our ankle, elbow, etc. We can move it only in one direction. And the other last one is fixed joint. Fixed joint we cannot move at all. Okay, so that's all for today. Before winding up, let us move to the follow-up activity. The follow-up activity for today is Google and find out the number of bones at birth and number of bones in an adult. So dear children, the number of bones in a newborn may be and the number of bones in an adult may be different. Find it out and come the next day. Study well and stay safe. Thank you. Have a nice day.